as a young man, he had the emotional vocabulary of a protagonist in contemporary musical theater literature. And that is what drew me to him, because, and not only him, but the people that surrounded him. As a protagonist, he has great yearning and for discovery and visibility, Pippin with a paintbrush. Well, yeah, it's my fault. I wrote the book, music, and the lyrics. As a young man, he was full of confidence, and as he grew older, it became more arrogance, and that plays not as well on in a theater. But surrounding him was a man named Max Jacob, who is the comic lead, who as soon as he comes on the stage, you know you're going to have a very good time. We have a lyric soprano named Fernande Olivier, and she was his mistress, and her voice is like Barbara Cook, 1956. There were elements of the show that connected to the structure of classical musicals, and given what I had been writing to this point, it is that part of the genre that I wanted to explore more completely. After examining the course of his life and the population around it, I knew that no one is that interesting as is. Non-fictional characters need sometimes the help of fictional characters to get through the evening for balance, artistic license. And in this case, I decided to create a morally bankrupt painter, very successful, named Luc Dulac. So he is the person who would stop Pablo's progress of painting in Paris. And as by trying to employ him, by trying to sabotage his exhibits, and just being a general all-around bad person. But for the balance of the structure of the show, he needed to be created. David is a really, I shouldn't say old friend, but a classically rooted friend in my life. We have deep personal roots. I'm godfather to one of his kids. But professionally, we have a real good working style. Musically, I will create a very particular and harmonically specific piano part, and I'll give that to him, and he will assign it to orchestra. And because orchestra is his instrument, and mine is the pencil, I suppose, and the eraser too sometimes. We both look at music the same way. We look at it as a vessel through which non-musical things are created, and that's the function of theater music, is to really, it's the idea that counts, really neither the music nor the lyrics, and how it serves the idea. And David and I have really compatible ideas about how a theater score is shaped. And so I don't really worry about it. He's orchestrated all my demos and all my smaller shows and reviews and everything. So we're now at a point where we complete each other's musical sentences. This show was going to be involved with so much newness for me that I wanted the staff to surround me, have a history with my past. From David, we were talking about decades, to our casting director, Jamie Beth Margolis, with whom I've worked several times, our musical director, Andrew Wheeler, who I hope people really start to know about him, because he sees what isn't on the page. He is an incredible gift for translating composers' intentions to performers. And that's not the same thing, and not everybody can do that. They can read music, they can play well and all that, but in the theater you need someone to get involved with the soul. And Andrew does that particularly well, a very important part of the piece. Our director is Steve Nakami, who I think, whose stock is rising, I think. I think you'll be hearing more about him. And I like him very much because he is referential. He makes his directorial decisions based on historical musical precedent, which I like very much. It's not as opposed to I like it and I think it's right because I like it. No. He'll go back into the pantheon of musicals to create a concept with which an actor will associate. And I like that. I like that style. I've been in the room when he does it, and it makes you feel supported. It makes your work feel justified. The principal roles were recorded in New York because of the demand, and I wanted people visible in New York to be playing them. The ensemble roles were recorded in Indiana because David Snyder works in Indiana, and the idea of casting a 27-piece musical in one city when it was easier to divide it. So it was really a matter of practicality and budget to have certain roles played in another state and to have the principal roles played here in New York. When people are listening to things and thinking, whoa, it doesn't sound like Cubism. It doesn't sound like what he did with Brock, and that's because the show ends before that period of his life begins. It's really from 1899 to 1906. It begins with his ascent into Paris and ends with his first professional success.